It's statistically a fact. Single mothers, we produce the worst product, right? Part of that, when we talk about males, especially black males, we don't realize that we're programmed because if you don't understand history, you won't realize that like it starts with the female. Even when we were slaves, the idea is if you program the mind of the female slave, she will raise the offspring to continue your agenda without you having to be physically involved. She will teach her children to abide because we're the first givers of life and care when kids are small. So we train them up to be good slaves, follow these particular rules. We indoctrinate and, create certain philosophies in their mind. So by the time they're big and strong, they still following behind the same agenda that was placed into us. So when you look at males that come from single mother-headed households, if you don't get around positive male role models, you have the emotional management skills of a woman.
Break that down. Break that down.
She's talking this
all of your upbringing, 17, 18 years, you've only seen a woman head the household. You've only seen how a woman problem solves. You only seen how a female, i.e. your mother, handles things. You've only seen how she deals with anger, guilt, shame, different feelings. You're only watching it from her. Now, she ain't telling you act like me, but she telling you act like me because this is programmed.
Let me tell you, she said it all. Okay? She said everything. She said everything. Okay, like let's just thank you guys for coming. She really did. And it's so interesting because whenever we talk about family dynamics, there's always so many complaints on the dad, right? There's so many people who complain about, my dad wasn't there. My dad didn't do right. My dad, even if he was around, it's like he didn't do enough or he didn't do as much as he could have. And, my mom was this person and that person. But it's rare that we ever hear people really delve into, the emotional, taxing situations that they go through living with just their mother. The way that she took her stress out on her children, the way that she demands you to be something because of the relationships that she could not keep or could not have, or because she's raising her young sons to quote unquote be the man of the house because she can't keep a man around, or whatever the situation is, or as this woman just said, literally, showing them how to be, being emotional men, whereas it's not a problem for men to show their emotions, but to making them to be overly emotional. A lot of times we see a lot of women who will bash their sons or whatever the case is because they cry or because they're emotional. But it's at the same time, if you are the only person that they've seen because you have either kept them away from their father because the relationship did not work out, you cannot keep a positive male role model in their life because of whatever it is that you got going on, all they can do is emulate what they see, because a lot of people forget that men, just as women, they start off as children. A lot of people forget that. I know, to the people who remember that are going to be like, of course, we all start off as children. But I strongly believe that a lot of people forget that men were once babies and they were once children. And children are extremely impressionable. It's a lot of, especially in their younger years, it's a lot of what they see and less what you are telling them. They literally emulate all the behaviors that you have. It takes a strong foundation for a young boy to understand what it even means to be a boy, to be a man. This is why we have the conversations all the time that women, you cannot train your boys to be men because you do not understand the experience. You can talk about from your perception. You can talk about what you think. You can talk about the things that you have an idea of. You can talk about certain traits or qualities that they should have. But it takes a man to raise a man. And that's the truth. Because you cannot literally understand or fathom all that it takes for a man to grow within his true masculinity. It don't matter how much you talk about, on Father's Day that you was the mama and the daddy. It don't matter what you say. You can't do it. It's literally impossible. We can look at statistics and see how impossible it is. Again, this woman made a very clear point to say that that these young men need to have, strong male role models. And to be honest, the best role model for a young man is his father. Because at the end of the day, all of the traits that are within him are within you. Who better to emulate? Now, I can understand, there are some faulty situations. There are fathers that, are either incarcerated, pass away, or whatever the situation may be, where they are not able to be physically present within their lives. But besides the extreme of the people who literally are intangible, when we talk about the mothers who just keep their children away because they don't want to, deal with the man and they don't want to be involved, so they just purposely keep their child away from their father for their own selfish reasons, you are doing your child the greatest disservice. Because it's not about you. It's not about you. It's not about your feelings. It's not about your emotions. It's not about what you like and don't like. That was probably your problem within the relationship, is because you thought it had to be your way or the highway. And now you're trying to do that with your son. Control whatever he got going on. Control who he communicates with. Control him communicating with the other part of himself. Because of how it make you feel. Because you left out. It's not about you. I'll never understand, a lot of women who go through these situations of breakup or whatever the case is, and you start making it seem like this person is an unfit parent just because your relationship didn't work out. That don't got nothing to do with nothing. Not one thing. You mad? You take it out on you think you're taking it out on your child's father, but you're actually taking it out on your child, because your child's father is a grown man. He got it. He already went through adolescent stage. He's already been guided. He's an adult. He can figure things out. It's your son who's going to have these challenges. And what happens, which is very hurtful, is that the reason why I stand so strong on the father being there, we're going to get to the uncles and all that stuff in extreme situations when that's not possible. But the reason why I stand so strong on the father and the dynamic of the son being with his father is because a lot of women, after they leave certain relationships, sometimes do not have the best judge of character when it comes to people. Then they get a new boyfriend in the house. Now you're trying to get your son to emulate this man that you don't even know. And then when you find out that relationship is not good for you, or that relationship does not work out as well, now you have these traits of this man that did not work for you, that you do not like, or you realize he was not the best person. Now these traits are already embedded in your son. So now he's emulating somebody that you don't feel is worthy of being emulated, or doesn't have the qualities to be emulated of. Or somebody who was showing you their representative. We just got to be real. Again, in extreme circumstances, I've seen people who literally have been incarcerated, and the mother keeps a duty to make sure that that father is in his children's lives. And you would never know that their father is not physically present by the way that he has control over his children from wherever he is being incarcerated. I've seen it. You would never know that there was not two parents in that household, because the woman is demanding that respect and that honor for that father no matter where he is. No matter how we play it, it always comes back to the woman and the part that we play. And how important it is for, especially as women, to set a certain standard for children and father. Again, it's not about you. It's not about how it makes you feel. Not because that's not your friend, not because that's their father. You might be annoyed. You might be a little irritated because you don't want to deal with this person. You should have vetted better. Should have thought about that. Things happen. Everything doesn't work out. But once you know that you were going to have a child with this person, you should have known, regardless of any situation, I'm going to make the best decision for my child. Not for my feelings, not for what I think, not for me, for my child. Once you have a child, it's no longer about you, it's about them. That's why when I hear people on social media and women talking about, I don't want to have children. Okay, let them say it from the get-go. It's better they say it from the jump and you just take their word for it and keep it pushing and find somebody who is saying, yes, I would love to be a parent. It's horrible. The thing is that people, again, they underestimate the power of the mother when it comes to the influence that she has on her children. I love the way that the woman said this, and she brought it all the way back from, way back when, from slavery days. But, it is so serious because, as a mother, you are carrying your child in your womb. They literally live inside your body. After they are born, they literally don't know that they are separate from you for months. They don't know that they're a different entity from you for months. The connection that a mother and a child has is so serious and so thick that there are grown men and grown women right now who are dealing with the manipulation and the trauma that their mother has inflicted on them from when they were a child. People always talk about, daddy issues and this and that. I rarely hear people talk about mommy issues. Because mommy issues run deep. They affect the whole community. They affect the viewpoint of how you see things. A lot of women, they indoctrinate their sons to become a certain type of man that they've never seen, that they've never acquired. This build-a-man that they figure that they could build. They want their son to be the build-a-man. They indoctrinate his mind on the type of man that he's supposed to be. And then for young women, they indoctrinate their minds on how they don't need a man. And it stays with them. Why do you think there's such a strong influence towards women? Being out there, being liberated, being free, being that, because once these women are out there acting a fool, once they're they're not thinking about family structure, they think about being selfish. They want to be outside, they want to get the bag, they want to put their careers first. They no longer want to be attached to their man in the family unit. The family structure is broken. I heard some people talking about, it's the man's fault. Everybody has a part to play, but you see, the woman is the center of the family structure. She is. She is the center of the nurturing for the household. She is the center of the guidance for the children. If she acting a fool, if she out of whack, the whole house is out of whack. I love the way she broke this down. Okay. I love the way she broke this down. And to be honest with you, we could be sitting here talking about this in a whole deeper, longer conversation. Because there's so many levels to this conversation. When it comes to women and the impact they have on their children. Not just positively, but negatively. And not just against their own sons, but against their daughters as well. I'd like to know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I would love to hear you guys' opinions on this video. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you guys in the next one. Love you.